We always begin this call with the introduction of our newest members. So is there anyone on the call who is attending the community call for the first time? Even if you have attended any other calls throughout the week, feel free to introduce yourself on this one. We have a lot of new members here. Hitesh, are you new? Is this your first community call? Please don't ignore me.
Sorry. It's hard, but it can be difficult, but you can actually ignore the person with the microphone. It's usually pretty hard to ignore them, but it's
Oh, sorry, I thought like I didn't have to unmute. Yeah, it's my first community call. I joined the Slack a few days ago. And yeah, yesterday I attended newcomers meet as well.
Okay. Do you mind giving a quick intro of what you work with? Are you here? Anything?
Yeah, sure. So I'm currently a final year student studying in Pune, India. So I have primarily been focused on web development. I have made few projects and learned various technologies within those fields. Now I'm exploring the cloud native space, and that's why I'm here. Like I came to know about Layer5 community via Navendu through his Twitter, but like I couldn't join then. I didn't find the Slack and all. But recently, Karthik posted a tweet, and that's how I'm here. So basically, I found out about Layer5 through Twitter.
Great. The fact that you didn't find our Slack, I think we should promote our Slack.
Yeah, yes.
nice.
Well, great to have you here. So who wants to go next? Anyone else?
I'll go next.
Cool.
Yeah, hi everyone, I'm Siddhant. I'm a sophomore at Kalinga Institute of Tech. I was been to this community earlier, but I did some non-code contribution. Back then I was not having much skills in to contribute to this project. So now I'm back with some skills to contribute. And now currently I'm learning Golang and all to contribute more in the backend eventually. Yeah, that's it about me.
That's great. Welcome back, I guess. Okay, who's next? Arpit, is this your first community call?
Yeah.
You wanna introduce yourself here?
Yeah, Jeff. Yeah, so I am a second year BTech student from India. I am currently interested in DevOps and exploring more while learning in public. I am also interning at DOK in the transcript squad for now. And I joined this community through Twitter because I am seeing the community is doing great stuff. So yeah, looking forward to contribute.
Okay, anyone else? I might be missing someone, but I don't see any other newcomer on the call. Okay, so all of you who are on the call, I hope you have access to the meeting minutes. Add your names in there. If you don't have access, you'll probably have to fill the newcomers form. So yeah, I think we can start with the meeting today. So first up, we have Ruth or Bami. Both of you are on the call. Would you like to talk about the She Code Africa contributing program?
Yeah, sure. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Yeah, hi everybody. So my name is Ruth, and so if you have been in the community, if you have been in the Layer5 community since about last year, you'd remember, She Code Africa's Layer5's participation in this program. But to refresh your memory or to tell the newcomers about what this program is about. I'm going to explain and also highlight the contributions we had last year. So She Code Africa first is like a thanks Lee for the link. She Code Africa is a non-governmental organization here in Africa that supports women in tech with programs, mentorship, resources, to get up to speed in their tech career, even for those that are starting, for those that are mid-career and all that stuff. So this program called Contributhon is a program that She Code Africa launched last year to help women from Africa contribute to open source. Right, so it's similar to GSOC, Outreachy, if you know of those programs. So, but for Contributhon program, it's a 1 month program where the ladies contribute to open source for that month. They are attached to a particular project. They contribute to open source for that particular month, and they get paid like stipends of $500 for each lady. So, and last year, Layer5 participated in the first cohort from She Code Africa, and we had like about 3 projects, and we had amazing mentors from the Layer5 community that mentored the ladies that contributed to this project. We had one of the projects we had was the community handbook. It started from, the community handbook started from that project, and, there are a whole lot of benefits that handbook has, created. We also had some ladies contribute to the website, and also had two other ladies contribute to Meshri. So that's a brief on what this project is about. So this year, Contributhon is starting another cohort. Is it for 2 months? Sorry, I saw 1 month. So for this year, She Code Africa is starting another cohort for Contributhon, and Layer5 is willing to participate to this project, right? To this program, and we are calling on mentors. If you want to participate in this program, we have a link. It's linked on the community meeting. You can check out details of this program and indicate if you want to participate as a mentor, or you have some skill. It must not be a mentor, but if you have some skill that you want to participate, and make this program a success, you can indicate on that doc, and you can also send a message on the community channel. If you want to send it via DM to Bami or Debupriya or myself, you can send a DM as well. So yeah, that's a bit about what this program is about. Any questions anyone has, I can clarify on any questions.
So who's already participating in? Sorry, my voice is not great.
No problem.
Who's already participating in this year's program?
So the application is just out, right? It's not it has not started yet. So I think when the application phase closes, then would know who is participating. But for last year, we had Jenkins, we had art company, I think, yeah.
Yep. Poorly phrased question on my part. Actually, I meant to say who from this community is already participating, or do we know?
Okay, participating as a mentee, right?
or mentor, or just part of the organizing?
Yeah, so I'm going to be participating. Bami as well. Deborah Priya is going to also be participating. And if anyone wants to contribute to this as well, you're welcome, most welcome to.
Nice. Let me see if I can get the count right. So Ruth, Bami.
I think I have Nati here, but I don't know Nati personally. I think that was just put in now, right?
Yeah, really recently. Actually, Unati's gonna.
I think change was 2 days ago.
Oh, nice. She's gonna talk here in just a moment. Actually, we're gonna get a chance to poke at Unati, which is one of my favorite pastimes. And Shubal is participating as well.
Yeah, sorry, I forgot Shubal. So sorry.
Nice. Okay, great. And so Ruth, you're both kind of recapping the fact that we've participated this in the past, that we had lots of success. There were, there's a whole blog post written about the things that were accomplished. I don't know. I think most people on this call have seen the community handbook that's on the Layer5 IO site. That, to embarrass Ruth a bit, it was one of those things that Ruth had acknowledged. Ruth is a meshmate emeritus, actually. So among many other stars, I think, many other badges. But one of the things that she had noticed was that we've got tons of info for how to engage, what the projects are, and who's doing what, and where to get hooked in. And yet those were in different docs and different places and different readmes. And so one of the initiatives that she had mentored this last go round was the coalescing of all that information into a central document and the formatting of that. And ultimately, that info is then now published in the community handbook that's here. So pretty impactful if you think about it. Not only is it a great resource, but it's a resource that every single person who joins the community here sees and then reviews. And so just one example of projects that go on. I think, Ruth, tell me and Bami, tell me if this is accurate. So today you're kind of reintroducing She Code Africa as a program. It's up and coming. It's about time to go. For those that want to be menteed and participate, to go get signed up. It's time for participating organizations like Layer5 and Jenkins and the whole list to kind of get their act together. And between Ruth and Bami and Shubal and Unati and potentially others on this call, this is what Ruth is saying, is like, hey, they're leading the charge here, getting us organized. They're trying to do a couple of things. They're calling for mentors. So if you're on the call now, or if you listen to this recording, if you're watching the live stream, for the millions of you out there in the audience at home watching the live stream, you can do what Ruth said. Reach out, get engaged.
Yeah, definitely, you're on point, Lee. So you can reach out. While we're still trying to get what specific project we will be applying with to She Code Africa. You can reach out for the meantime, about your interest, mentor, or so please do reach out. I would love as much participation as possible, because we're able to achieve so much with the last cohort, and it would be great to achieve more time.
That's great. For those that are working on things in the community as well, you might have ideas about areas that people can engage within.
Yeah.
I'm sort of eyeballing Kunal Verma at the moment. If he can get his calendar in order, he might think of ideas for ways for people to engage on the Discuss forum. There's new reports to be written, new SQL statements to go through, new leaderboards to create. There's definitely things there. So there's also new ways to gamify what happens in the discussion forum. So, think about it. It's one area. With that, Ruth, I'm pumped. This is gonna be good.
Yeah, same here. I'm pumped as well.
Nice. Any questions for Ruth and Bami? Anybody know that they want to jump in here? Have some ideas. For those of you that are too shy, there's the Slack. And for the rest of us, we might hear about another program that we're participating in.
So anyone who's interested, you can reach out in the events channel that we have on Slack, or you can add your names here as well. This doc is mentioned on the community meeting minutes. You can add your names here, and these are some of the tasks. If you have any other suggestions regarding this program or the next one that we're going to talk about, you can mention it here. You can let us know about that as well. Okay. So do we have any questions regarding this? We have both Ruth and Bami on the call today, so this will be the best time to ask your questions.
Quick question. This might be obvious for most, but I remember asking this question last year I think I asked it, which was, so it's a wonderful goal of helping females in particular get engaged, get ramped up, get engaged in projects, and build relationships and make an impact and all those things. For those that potentially want to raise their hand, help in organizing or potentially mentor, that's open to anyone. That's right, Bami, Ruth?
Yeah, it's open to anyone. Not anyone can mentor. We had Navendu last time mentor. So please indicate interest. Yeah, thanks for asking that, Lee. I forgot to say that part.
Yeah, Raj, you raised your hand. You have a question.
Yeah, so which type of, mini events are we looking for the program? Are they CTF or some kind of hackathon or some other events?
For the Shikode Africa, yeah?
When you say
Sorry?
events, do you mean like projects? Are you talking about projects?
No, on the task number 3 is identify mini projects suited for the length of this event. So what do we mean by mini project here?
Okay, so I think when we look at mini, so it's since the 2-month phase, it's something that can be covered within that timeline. So that's what it means. Does that make sense?
So there are 2 tasks. The one, contribution area, and the second one is like some small project building contest or that sort of thing.
Sorry, can you take that again?
So in the Shikode program, the first priority of the mentee is, to contribute to open source. And the second is going to, complete the mini project. So
Okay, yeah, I think I get what you're saying, like a mini project. So they have to present a project to Shikode Africa, right? It's just like so whatever they work on here, right, at Layer5, they present like proof of work, basically, right? This is the projects I worked on in Layer5 as a mentee, right? So they present it to Shikode Africa. It's just like not really a vetting thing, but shows that okay, this mentee worked on a project. So that's basically what it means.
Okay, got it.
Okay, cool.
Any other questions regarding She Code Africa? Okay, then we'll move on to the next event that we are participating in. Unnati, are you here? Do you want to talk about this?
Yes, I'm here. Can I share my screen? Okay, thank you. So just wait a minute. So basically we are looking, like as we already mentioned, that we are collaborating with Openforce for this 2022. It is a long-term hackathon which we are planning. So we have certain volunteers for the same, that is Bami and Shibul. Shibul is there. Also we have Raj with us, who is assisting us with certain tasks. Now we have made out the announcement on our LinkedIn that we are collaborating with this Openforce. Now I need certain mentors for the same to take this initiative further, as we need to have certain projects that will be listed on Openforce for contribution. So if anyone is interested for the same, they could write their names in the doc here, and we'll appreciate your efforts contributing to this initiative. So if you have any doubts or any suggestions, you are free to have it here. So these tasks are listed. Some tasks are still pending, that is 1, 2, and 3, and that is needed as a priority basis, on a priority basis. Also, we need to have certain projects. So also I need a certain confirmation that here people have listed that they are interested for 3 tasks. So can I give them 3 tasks in one go? Is there a possibility to do so?
Yeah, but just Unati, this is great, by the way. I liked the LinkedIn update that you sent out as well. People getting excited about Openforce. As Layer5 participates in a variety of these programs, we've finally put together a little bit of a template for things that we know that we need to do as a set of organizers for making sure that we're engaging in the best of ways. And that's what Unati is covering here. And that's what Ruth and Bambi were covering in the other doc. And so what Unati and Ruth are doing is a few things. They're letting everyone know about the fact that we're participating, for people to come in and engage in different ways. Maybe you want to help organize, maybe you want to mentor, maybe you want to be a mentee. Great. Maybe you just want to sit on the side and eat popcorn like me, just kind of watch as things go on. And so while as these are getting organized and people like Shubal are just showing up and stepping up, taking on assignments like writing a blog post, I think the only, or the one ask that we had was that, like, if someone's going to take on a task, good, ideally it's just one person, or there's just one name there. It's not that Shubal, for example, isn't being collaborative with the writing of that blog post. He is, and that's great. But that single individual is accountable and responsible for delivering one task. Now, if Shubal steps up and takes on all 11, man, who's going to stop the guy? I mean, yes is the short answer to your question. Yes, it's great if people want to take on more than one.
Okay, then fine. I will just assign them. Yeah. So, is anyone interested to mentor for this initiative? if they're interested, they could just write their names, or if if you are too shy to write your names in the chats, you can DM me with your names and I would add you.
Yeah, it's actually so Raj has a good question, which is like, man, the imposter syndrome is almost palpable in the room. Like, wait a second, I'm gonna mentor someone else. Like, that's ridiculous. The thing is any one of you, I'm sure, could say the same thing that I'm about to, which is there's any number of things that each of you know that for sure I don't know. And so many things to learn from each other. It'll be a natural thing, I think, for each of you as you consider participating, as ideas are listed about different mini projects or different issues that people might work on, that you might want to suggest some that you're comfortable with and you think, hey, you could collaborate or kind of support someone as they work through it. That's kind of, I think that's a good internal assessment as to whether or not. Yeah. And so when you see the list, if you're thinking like, oh yeah, I've done that before, or I could assist there, that's probably the test that you would use to figure out if you'd be successful at mentoring. So here's the nice thing is it's a very supporting community. So if people are getting stuck, I see it happen about every 8 minutes of the day. Somebody gets stuck and then somebody else from the community helps. So
yeah. So yeah, I guess that's all from my side. And if you're interested, do let me know.
Shubal, do you want to say something?
Yes, hello. Well done. Thank you. Can you hear me clearly?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, great. You spoke about one person taking more than one task. So do you mean one person can take more than one task, but should work collaboratively with any other person working on the task?
Both, which is to say that so Shubal, by the way, you get extra harassment today because I missed you last time when we were doing introductions. So you're, I don't know if you were really good at hiding or if I just was blind, but to use you as an example, that you're doing exactly what would be hoped, which is you volunteered, you jumped in, volunteered, you said you'd do something, and then you did it. So you wrote a draft blog post. Then you did the second right thing, which is, hey, just like writing code or doing a UX design, you bring it, you share it with others and say, can you beat this up for me? Can you point out where it could be better? And through that process, everybody learns and we create hopefully really good things. But in the process, like, is Shubal, if it doesn't get done, who's to fault and whose arm will we break? Shubal's. We'll just, no, but so Shubal's responsible for it, but certainly seeking to do it collaboratively. It's just that, yeah, the only note here was really just, hey, if we put two names down on a thing, responsibility usually gets diffused. So I thought you were gonna, but no, I didn't. And then so yeah, these are small enough that one person can lead them, others can participate.
Yeah, definitely. You can work collaboratively as well. So yeah, that's all from my side. Shubal, do you want to add something regarding your blog post?
Yeah, I made when I posted the blog post on the draft on the blog kitchen, I got some corrections from Lee and other persons to which I updated. However, Lee was mentioned that the subtitles sounded like we're repeating. So I'm yet to get suggestions from him, and also about the markdown. And you said you were going to help with the markdown. So that's like the updates from there.
Yeah, even I shared that link with you. Like you can learn from it. So yeah, that's all from our side. Thank you so much.
Nice. Yeah. Hey, as a quick reminder for me and for others, what are the dates? Which one of these two comes first?
So like the dates for the hackathon would be 3rd March to 28th March.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Shikura Africa Contributhon is starting April 1st to 31st May.
Nice.
Okay.
Okay, cool, good. In part, I ask because as you all ideate on what potential, projects people might work on, that has the timing has an effect, and then also which one comes first. If there's overlap and people can, yeah. So anyway, that's good to know. March and April.
Yeah.
Great. So from my part, like Bami and Ruth and Unati and Shubal and Kunal and Ahom and everyone else's names and Cheat, thanks for stepping up and doing this. This is it's really impactful for those that participate on both sides. It's cool.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for this loving community. Yeah.
Speaking of loving community, we're about to demonstrate just how loving we are when someone signs up to do something and they don't. So Ashish, I don't know, have you been, so as we move into the next topic and I step all over Devapriya's toes, I'm sorry. The next topic is from Utkarsh on multi-context support in Meshery. My voice couldn't be worse. Ashish, had you been talking to Utkarsh? Do you know, is this something we can review today?
Yeah. Yeah, actually, there were a bunch of merge conflicts to be resolved and a few extra gatekeeping things around this PR, and he was doing it as well. I pushed a commit, and then he said that he would be done by the community meeting, and I think something would have came up in the last moment, because the last I talked, he was pretty positive about coming to the meeting. So that's why, and it requires a bunch of networking setup so that two of my clusters can communicate. Plus, on top of it, I need to go ahead and resolve those merge conflicts. I just checked, the recent PR does not have the, if you scroll down, I guess there's still a lot of merge conflicts. Yeah, there are some merge conflicts currently. So and I haven't pushed the PR because thinking that I haven't pushed another commit thinking that he had already completed most of it. So maybe my commit would have introduced another merge conflict. So yeah, once he pushes the last commit that resolves these conflicts, and then I could have demoed. Or maybe if I would have known that he wouldn't be here maybe half an hour before, then I would have gone and resolved all those merge conflicts, made all the setup, but it's just too much ad hoc for me.
Yeah, makes sense. Well, the awkwardness that you're feeling right now, I encourage you to let him, just pass it along to Utkarsh. Good.
Yeah,
Ashish, to be forthright and sincere, I don't have faith that Utkarsh is going to necessarily finish this. Will you give some time and let him know that you'll be taking this one over? I think he's probably all but stepped out of his maintainer role. It's time to probably update that status.
Sure. This will most probably be done by tonight or tomorrow morning by me. I'll let him know that I'm going forward with this.
Nice. Thank you. So for context for everyone else, one of the largest project that we work on, Meshery, it helps manage Kubernetes deployments. And it really does it just for one Kubernetes deployment at a time, one Kubernetes cluster at a time. And that's not good, or rather, people, the Kubernetes cluster, everybody has a Kubernetes cluster. Everyone has multiple of them. If you don't have multiple, you should feel bad on the call right now. No, I'm kidding, but actually just when people are using Kubernetes, just like when they're using a container, they usually find they end up with multiple clusters. So Meshry needs to be capable of speaking like simultaneously to multiple clusters or individually to different clusters. And so we need to be able to switch between them. And it's not a small consideration. It's one that as you implement that design, you might get hung up in various places. And so there's been kind of a long forthcoming feature to support multiple clusters. So we're ANSI, so actually for Kunal, I'll again to like pick on if you're getting picked on, it's because you're well loved. So I'm not picking on Kunal, but to say Kunal has been spending a lot of time in DevOps, whatever that means. But he's been spending a lot of time in with tooling and systems administration and network, cloud administration and DevOps. And so this particular forthcoming feature, like, does it need more code? Yeah, probably. I'm sure that there's a bug or two in there. But what does it really need right now? What it really needs is smart users or folks that like to touch Kubernetes occasionally and maybe can have one or two of them hanging around. Like someone who can really go, or not just one person, but a bunch of people who can go test, does this work? Is Meshry behaving as you would expect when it's talking to one or more clusters? And so like Kunal, I mention it because it's sort of right up your alley, a great thing to go try out. There are specific instructions for how to test this out as well. They're actually Kunal on the Discuss forum. So I know you've seen them because you're all over the forum, which is great. Anyone else who's here? Sometimes people like Shubal and a couple of other people on the call, I think, talk about non-code contributions or non-code ways of engaging. Like there's tons of those things, right? And you like, that's what we've been talking about for the first 30 minutes of the call, is like how to engage with others and talk to other humans and help them and grow with them. So another aspect of how to engage in a non-code way is like, well, it's to just use the tools, use the project. And maybe that means just browsing the community handbook and then pointing out where it could be better, like that. Like that's one thing. Or using Meshry for multi-context and figuring out where it could be better. So good. So jump in. Like this is should be an intriguing area. So this was to take up the latter 30 minutes of our call. Kind of this opens up the floor for other things people have going on. Does anyone have a share today? A share, like a news happening like something new that you learned this week? Something new that I learned this week. I was doing, let me start. If this gets boring and people start dropping off, then we'll know that it's time to end the call. I was working in Adobe After Effects. Yay. Not really. It's kind of confusing. But we were working on creating a couple of, and by the way, so this is actually another great example, is like Alvin's on the call. Is Alvin still? Oh no. No, Alvin's not on the call. Oh, he was. Oh, my whole world has come crashing down. Alvin, whose last name I'm still working on, did a first UX design in Figma. Alvin Chinendu, and he did great. That's another example of a non-code contribution, right? He's doing design in Figma. That's like, we need lots of that. So sorry. So another example is a couple of contributors are working in Adobe After Effects as well, sharing the same project, kind of exchanging the design of the videos that are being created. And actually, Devapriya, I think might have just recently posted that video. Is that up for people to take a look at? It might.
Up here, there's an open PR for it.
Okay. But so if you're, yeah, the Meshery video, the Meshery demo video, it's only like a third of the way done, but we need to let people know about the great features that have been built in Meshery, and having a short little overview video is something that I was learning this week. So anybody else learn something this week? Anyone join a Twitter space for the first time? Are you still holding out?
Yeah, actually, I can share something. So this is like an achievement for me. Like I had been working on a video for my YouTube channel since 2 weeks, and I uploaded that yesterday, and I guess folks are loving it. So that is actually about contributing to Cloud Native Glossary. That is a project under the CNCF community. So if anyone wants to check that out, they can definitely do so if interested in. That's completely non-code contribution. So even if you're a beginner, you can still contribute. So yeah.
Okay, so I was mistaken. The video is up right now. I'll just give a quick.
I just wanted everyone to know, by the way, that my piano took a little bit of a beating as I played that out. But, yeah, no, I am not musically inclined. That was not for me. So, but actually, the whole thing really isn't for me. I was collaborating with others in the community on Adobe After Effects. So again, if you're into that stuff, jump in. Also, go check out Kunal's video. That's the Kunal. Does that have the CNCF Velocity have the Cloud Native Glossary as well?
Yeah, are you talking about the video, right?
Well, or the CNCF Velocity?
No, the project name is the Cloud Native Glossary. So it's
Glossary.
Like, yeah, glossary. So it's like the collection of all the words that are in the Cloud Native ecosystem. So it's like not. I would not say it's not. It's like a recent project, but recently the CNCF has been supporting this initiative a lot. So yeah, we are actually open for more contributors.
Yeah. Nice. Yep. Other things that we need to talk about today? Other things? Be nice, if Ashish, you could share just the make and model of Utkarsh's car. That way I know which one to key in the parking lot. Just okay, good. I'll have to, we'll give him we'll harass him. Who'd we miss? Anything that anybody stuck on an issue that they're working on? Anybody been waiting for a PR review for 2 weeks? Oh, good. There's some upcoming events that I think we'll end up we'll be speaking at. So we'll talk about some of that stuff. But I'm looking forward to getting the 2 programs that we talked about today announced, to kind of some blog posts out about them on Layer5.io. It's gonna be great. Okay, I think later today, there's probably another release of Meshery to come out. It's been a while. Anything else?
Hi, hi, Shebo. I've been waiting for updates. I dropped you a private message, I think yesterday or a few days ago on the blog post.
Oh, nice. I'll be totally forthright and say, as Unati and Ruth and Bami bring up our engagement with the programs, for my part, I'm super stretched thin, and I lean on those individuals to lead the effort. Like in this case, lean into Unati, if you would, because I'm just going to hold you back. Is the problem?
Okay,
but yeah,
thank you.
Yeah. No, good of you to bring it up. Like, all righty. Okay, Deborah Priya, I think we're out of here.
Yeah, so one final call for anyone who has anything else to discuss today.
Yeah, what's the timeline for the tasks to be completed prior to the events?
My net went away for some time. Can you repeat your question?
Yeah, so that's directed at Ruth, Bami, and Unati.
Sorry, what was the question?
So the question was, is there any timeline for the volunteers who are working on some tasks for the Openforce tech events and She Code Africa for the tasks to be completed?
So
sorry, I was muted. For She Code Africa, the timeline, I have to quickly check on the site, but we have not sent our application yet. We are going to probably wrap it up by next week. So I think someone puts a week timeline there. So you can just indicate interest first off, and thank you. You already indicated interest. Thank you very much. And we'll sync up on Slack to, give updates. Does that work, Raj?
Yeah, I actually quickly wanted to add in here. I guess we are talking about the deadline, right, Raj? If I'm not wrong here, for completing
Yeah,
the
deadline for the tasks.
Yeah, what I was thinking is, I feel that depends on a particular task, right? So, for example, if we are talking about a task that includes like setting up a project that would be announced while announcing the organizations, so that task would require to be completed before we announce before we announce that particular project, right? And the tasks like promoting that on socials and all these things, that is also going on to be worked upon while the program is still going on. So I guess that depends upon the tasks, if I'm not wrong here.
Yeah, so another thing I want to add, looking at like the calendar from She Code Africa. So originally the program runs from April 1st to May 28th. But during the period of May 16th to May 28th, the participants have to like submit the success of their project and like their experience working with mentors to She Code Africa, right? So from that May 16th to 28th, I think that's a week, they submit their progress reports while the program officially also during that period, the mentors also submit like their evaluations on both the success of the project and also, their experience working with the participants. The last time, it was a spreadsheet that was sent to track where the mentors, put in their review for each participant they mentored, like how the project went through, the participants, the participants' progress report as well. So during that period of May 17th, May 16th rather, to May 27th, right, the mentors also submit their evaluation. The last time was the spreadsheet, but I do not know how the format, I think it was a form and a spreadsheet, a Google form and a spreadsheet. So I don't know the format for this year, but that's what we expect. So as a mentor, you get to submit your evaluation for your mentee, right? So does that answer your question?
Also talking about Openforce, all of these tasks need to be completed before the event actually happens. So for example, suppose the link social media post that we are going to have, that will go out probably a week before the event starts, but we need to have the drafts.
Yeah, before the event starts.
Yeah.
Just after Layer 5 has been accepted, right? We send out like the blog posts, to social.
Yeah, so if you're keeping the actual stuff to go out just before the event starts, we need to have them ready by next week. So anyone who's working on the blog, the draft and review, everything has to be done within the next week, because this event is in March and we're already midway through Feb. So that is for the writing stuff. Also, the third point, which is really important for the hackathon, if you're working on any project, any aspect of the project, you need to identify, what issues to create, how to distribute the work between the new contributors who join in. So all these need to be done by the end of next week. So if you're talking about specific time as a deadline, within the next 7, 8, 9 days.
Yeah. I think we'll also like put it in this doc as well, just to put like in notes so that assignees will know like, okay, this is the timeline, you have to submit this as well.
Raj, is that okay? We answered your question.
Yeah, I got it.
Anyone else has anything else to talk about today? No? Okay, then I think we're done for today. Thank you all for joining. See you on the other calls next week. Bye-bye.
Bye. See ya.
Bye.
Bye. Bye. Bye. Bye.